our space for these intuitive readings. So excited to be with you. And what we're going to do today are intuitive readings. Now, it's different than when I do soul readings or ask anythings, I guess, if that's the other one that I do. But first of all, what we want to do is come into the sacred space together and make sure that we're clear and open channels for the highest good. And what we want to do is be a clear and open channel for the highest good of all concerned. That includes you. So especially if you work with people, please don't forget that when you're connecting for their highest good, now I'm running this up and down my body so you can feel it yourself. This is going to you as well. There is actually no distance between us. And the only thing you need to do is decide that you're going to receive this cleansing, okay? Okay, so what happens is we are distracted and we're full of ideas, thoughts, conditions, fears, distracted by our pains, our discomforts, the issues in the world. What else? We are seriously plugged in, okay, to the matrix, so to speak. I'm seeing this weird thing there we go. And so what we want to do in every single moment of our lives is to contain the space that we exist within, to master it, to be aware of it, to be connected to it, to choose what's in it, your core, your inner self. So the idea of intuition is kind of a nicey name for your psychic abilities, your clairs, your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, claircognizance, when you just know something, when you see things, when you perceive things, when you sense things, and there's many more. So one of the courses that I have, it's a little mini course, is called Awaken Your 360 Senses. Why? Well, I give it to you if you join the Intuition Awakening Camp because I want you to awaken more senses that you were even told that you have. And if you're here, you most likely have been meditating, or you're open to it, or you're starting to have experiences. You're starting to get communication, maybe from you feel like your higher self, or from angels, or maybe you feel a great presence and a connection when you're in nature somewhere, or there's a special place in your yard or your house that you've created where you have the energy the way that you want it. The reality is we're moving in an accelerated evolution at a time when we've been very plugged into the physical reality and the truth of it. So even if you've been on this path a while, like I have, you notice that you keep finding another belief or another little energy somewhere after you clear energy. Oh, I don't really think about this thing with my dad anymore. It doesn't bother me. It used to obsess me daily, and now I don't, something like that. However, it doesn't mean it's gone for good. And what you want to do is be in communication with yourself, with all the parts of you, of course, with your body. But your body is really the tip of the iceberg. You don't have anything go on in your body that isn't in your mind, your emotions, your spiritual body, and other layers of your being. So what the best thing to do is to be in touch with yourself. If you're the one that's actually in charge of making the decisions in your life, even if it feels like you haven't been, okay? Maybe you've had abusive relationships or no money and feel like you had no power, no choice. Maybe you have been playing out a pattern of not speaking up and pleasing everyone else. I did that for a very long time. And these are just patterns that you've lived, you've encompassed in little wounds, energetic wounds in your body. And when we see those, we know a couple different things. We see the energy The energies representing the thought, the belief, the agreement in some way. The agreement with yourself, I'm never ever speaking up again. Bad things happened when I spoke up. Could have been 10 lifetimes ago. Whatever, you still have a fear of speaking up. And then you go through layers of it, because I can tell you I don't have a fear of speaking up anymore, but I had a lot early in my life, and I was a big people pleaser, and I was terrified of not being good enough, and I was terrified of being outcast, and there were all these inner strange fears that my family didn't understand. I didn't understand until I got older. Yet even when I had those as a child, do you remember how intuitive you were? Do you remember talking to fairies? And I was constantly, I never felt like I was alone. I was constantly talking to something. And then we move into a reality, a conditioning, a family, a society, a job, a school, a religion, whatever, some structure that tells us this is how you should act, this is what you should think, and don't listen to that voice within. It'll get you in trouble, or some version of that. So I want you to understand that you're here because you want to know who you are. You want to connect to who you are. You want to have that direct connection. You know in your heart there's no longer any benefit to letting everyone else tell you who you are and how you should live your life. The whole structure of reality is breaking down. Now, don't let that instill you with fear. Let that inform you, like the weather report, that you are going through a time of letting go, of deconstruction, of shedding the old. This is within and this is without. This is in relationships. This is in the government. This is it. Okay, that the pattern is reflecting. Now, through all of this, no matter whether you're completely into the fear and you can't unplug from the news and you buy everything you hear, all the way to you never listen to the news, you rarely interact with other people, you really control your environment so that you're in the most optimal space for you and you feel your intuition growing, but you don't have any feedback. You're just in your own world. You can't talk to your family about it. You can't do sessions with people who are able to be objective enough to not criticize you. And maybe you're afraid to get that feedback, but guess what? This is the time. There isn't any choice. You can get dragged through this moment, up and down the breakdowns, or you can say, whoa, what are we doing today? Okay, this is what's happening today. Today I feel. So I'll tell you one thing. Last night, I wasn't sure I was going to be here. In the middle of the night, I woke up and I had a horrific headache. And I just don't get headaches anymore. I used to have them, but it was strange. And I could feel my brain and it was squeezing, and I thought maybe I'm super dehydrated. So I turned off my Rife machines, which is energy medicine work that I have going almost all the time for us. And then I drank some water and took some rescue remedy and I laid back down and I thought that was it. And several hours later, my stomach was in pain, my head was pounding. It was one of those things where you want to crawl out of your body. And at one point, this went on for hours. At one point, I just gave up and said, okay, let's just throw up. I don't know why. I never did, but I went through like the motions. I finally fell asleep and was able to keep down a little bit of water with an ibuprofen. So I do go to some regular medicine sometimes because the pain was so bad and I was hoping it would stay down. And then I woke up around 10 or 10:30 this morning. So I got about 4 hours of sleep. So what does that have to do with intuition? Well, what was that? Chris didn't get sick. It wasn't something we both ate. I didn't end up throwing up. It was almost like an echo or a repeat or a wave of something, or it was an energetic release that didn't have to come all the way into my body. Maybe there was nothing wrong with my body. Maybe the intuitive side of me, maybe the other parts of me were releasing some energies as certain stars and certain alignments or certain energies were happening, and they were like, this is a good time to get this out of your body. Now, your intuitive development is happening, whether you like it or not. It's going to be forced on you in your life. You're going to have to you're going to be put into situations, especially right now, where you're forced to choose to speak up or to listen to your own inner voice versus just go along with everyone else. And it's scary and it's a change and everybody's at a different place. Be aware that's happening. So when you have something like this happen, you could spend the whole day feeling sorry for yourself or afraid of it or trying to figure it out, or you can run to a doctor so they do a test and give you a pill or something. I don't know what they do, and whatever, right? And so what you want to do is look at, well, maybe I should just listen. Maybe I should just talk to this part of me. Maybe it's speaking, and it is. All right. So I'm not going to go into like all the different things that came up around what this experience was. But around 6:30 in the morning, I thought, do I move this call till tomorrow or not? Now, what I didn't encounter that most people would, and I used to, was guilt or worry that all of you wouldn't like me if I changed this, the time and date of this call. Am I aware some of you might be annoyed? Sure, everybody's got an agenda. Oh man, I made time for it. I can't come tomorrow, and I understand that disappointment. But I've unplugged from those things so that I can hear my true inner voice tell me yes or no. If I listen to all the chatter, or one of my clients on a session said the other day, my monkey chatter in my head, then I can't hear my true inner voice, or I don't trust it, or it's not clear. Okay, so I want you to have the opportunity to hear your voice and to turn down the monkey chatter, release it, transform it, listen to it, accept it. There's different energetic things I teach you on how to shift energy without being mad at it, being controlled by it, being frustrated by it, or being thrown off balance by it. All right. So I know within that there were certain things happening. Right now I'm having a really interesting feeling right here in my solar plexus. So we're in a solar plexus time. We're in a fire, sun, Leo, cat, lion energy time. And so we're going to have more healing here. Right? And what's happening here, this was an adjustment for me. And I'm not going to go into it anymore. Anyway, so these are the kinds of things every single day, all day long, little things, big things, giant decisions, tiny decisions. I want you to listen to your intuition so much. I want you to start to realize that everything we've all been taught. My dad's a banker, my mom's a nurse, so, I can promise you that there's a lot of be a good person, pay your bills on time, work hard, be acceptable in all of these ways. And that's fine. That's what I've lived as. Now I've learned to love me, love my family, without having to bring up all the limitations I felt I was given. And I see the opportunity that was in the situation of my life and my other lives to birth me into a more intuitive, more compassionate, more connected being than ever before. That is my goal every day, is to live in that intuitive flow, live the beauty. Last night, there were some things going on. We were sitting, we really didn't feel like walking out to the beach, it's right there, to watch the sunset. And there had been a lot of clouds. So Chris had said, "Nah, I'm not going to go." And right at the last moment, I started to feel this I said, it's very unusual that it was glass. It's usually windy in the evening. So it was like glass, and there was just a glow. The sun had a lot of clouds, but there was like a little bit of a glow, and I just suddenly was like poked right out of my chair, and it was like, go. I'm going to show you a picture of what was there. It was a ginormous double rainbow that came from the ocean and landed on my house from my perspective. And I was able to get a picture of the whole, it was a pure magic. Okay, pure magic. So listen, I live here on the beach because I've listened to that intuitive inner voice step by step, even when I didn't understand why. I remember when we moved over here, I was like, why do I feel we need to move? Chris said, I do too, but I love it where we are. So you don't use your logical mind. Well, I have X amount left. We went to our landlord and said, can we get out of our lease early? We didn't put them or the rule ahead of our intuitive calling. And thank God, because 5 weeks after I moved here, Chris had a seizure. There's no way I could have moved with him after he had a seizure. There's no way that he could have survived in Playa because it was kind of noisy living there, and he became super sensitive. So it's things like that, like, wow, you look back in retrospect and I didn't know. You don't have to know all the details. You just have to listen and follow that next step. Okay? All right, so hello, everybody. Let's see. Hi. Hi, Kier and Christy and Nicole and Genevieve and Julie and Jamie. Hi, Sylvia and Sandra. And let's see. Hi, Gina. And hi, Deborah. Hi, Dana. I hope you have to tell me how to say that when we get in class. Michelle and Brittany. Hi, honey. Interesting. So, hi, Autumn and Yvette, and hi, Jennifer and Sasha. I used to have a cat named Sasha. Love that. All right, good. Wonderful. So, I'm just tuning into all of you. Of course, there's more of you that probably haven't said anything in the chat. So, what we're going to do is we're going to relax. I'm going to tune you into some energy. So, I'm going to show you a few slides. I'm going to show you the rainbow so you can tune into the magic. And I want you to take the words that I'm saying and let them come into you in a different way than you have. They're not just to listen with your logical brain, okay? They're to receive the energy of those words and what do they mean to you? Where do they go in your body? What do they trigger? Are they soft and flowing over you? Do they make your heart nervous? Do you get annoyed, frustrated, excited, peaceful? What is the relationship you have with these words? All right. And then we'll go in and I will start to do the intuitive readings. Typically, intuitive readings are I scan and look at where you are and what is in your body, your light body, that blocking your intuition, that's ready, that's open and you haven't noticed it, or you should give more attention to. You might want to develop. And we're just going to expand that and see whatever comes in. I'm feeling right now that there's some money or some abundance questions around people, and there's some health issues. The sacral has, of course, been coming up a lot again as we release shame and guilt in the past and fear of being good enough and being intuitive. We have to start to nestle down like a little Buddha, sit down in our own sacred center here so we can get that part online with this part and then expand our intuitive network. So I'm also seeing this just scanning as a group. There's some really clenched hearts and burdened backs, shoulders and backs, like you're just carrying it all and you know you need to let it go, but you're afraid to, or there's some resistance to that. And these hearts, it's like almost like pulling in. Some are hurt or shriveled, frustrated, and some are almost looks like if you watch a fruit decay, it slowly just kind of shrivels into itself, right? And it feels like that, like something old is going in some of you. So if you resonate with any of those, they're for many of you, those different messages. Yeah, there's that readiness of the heart. Okay, good. We enter this sacred space in reverence, presence, and love. Now, don't just say the words or think the words or hear the words. I want you to feel the words. You are in an infinity healing chamber. There's a gold and silver cone of light or temple of light above and below you. Perfect mirror. You're between the worlds. You're wrapped in the all-seeing eye. That gives you the clarity, connection, calm, and centeredness to be connected to all times, places, lives, everything. All around us is this beautiful white light sphere made from the flower of life pattern. It holds within it every sacred shape needed to create life or uncreate it. I enter this sacred space in reverence and gratitude for myself for being here. I enter this sacred space present and ask to be a clear and open channel for my highest good. and what is optimal for me at this time. I enter this sacred space in love. I offer love at the highest level I am capable of perceiving it, and I'm ready and willing and open and receptive to receive love in whatever way I am becoming able to receive it, higher, wider, stronger, fuller, reliable, trustworthy, fully present, respect. Namaste. I ask to connect with my intuitive network and enter this sacred space, this sacred moment, a clear and open channel for my highest good. I open my heart. I open my mind. I am that I am. See where you feel that. It is a powerful creation and command of energies that are forming and connecting to you as you are acknowledging it. Every single word in that opens a sense, a portal, shifts energy, realigning you closer to your soul signature frequency, a clear line to all levels of communication that are optimal for you at this time. So in this sacred space, I create this for the classes. You learn to create this for yourself in the class. And I create this every time I do a new one, every time I do a private session. I create one every morning, maybe several times a day. I cleanse, clear what comes up, what it comes into. But essentially, this is a space between the worlds that opens and responds to what is optimal for you. Okay? Beautiful. All right, so let's take a peek at my screen.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Okay. That was my Alexa. She thought I was talking to her. All right, welcome. So I call my show The Infinite Show now because I realized one day that we are infinite. We are connected to the infinite field, all possibilities, all potential. We come into this life structured for a particular purpose. So the idea of being infinite is like, well, I could just decide I want to be 7 feet tall, blonde, blue-eyed, and, with giant boobs, and you're 4 feet tall. This is not to limit you. You might be the first person to change your physical appearance. That's going to happen at some point. This is being in the infinite field as you connected to the infinite, knowing there's infinite potential, and following your path through it so that you could actually hear things no one else can hear. So these intuitive readings are a gift to you. Akasha here, Nana Akasha. This is in front of my house. I hope you will come to my retreat at the equinox. We're going to be doing lots of fun water things. I want to remind you right here on my YouTube channel, we did an intuition challenge. It's 4 different ones. Each one has a very powerful activation. I highly recommend that you do them. If you join the Intuition Awakening, these are the challenge. They're free here. You get a light activation of your intuition network. We do some money intuition, turning blocks into doors. We take on your superpower, your intuition, and we really go into some of your really high-level powers of your gut heart. Now, if you come to the Intuition Awakening Summer Camp, we're starting our live classes, which include practice and play. I said we're going to do some practice and play last year because I was worried about people wanting to come, feeling the inner call to come, and then their fear resisting, oh, I don't want to look stupid, or I'm not good enough. Everybody feels that way. Okay, I can promise you 100%. And the class, people are signing up again from last year. That's how much they loved it. In fact, we extended the practice and play last year for several months because it was so powerful. So what happens if you show up and you put yourself in a situation where you get to prove to yourself and get the feedback that you do have a clear channel, that you are receiving information. Maybe you get some clarity from me because I help do readings for people to interpret what is happening. This is the place where the tipping point happens. Okay, so I do hope that you will join us. If you have any questions, just send me an email. Here's the rainbow, and my house is the one on the right with the turquoise gate. So this was a pano. You can see a little bit on the left, the second rainbow, and it is truly my house. We're calling her Casa Ixchel. Ixchel is a Mayan goddess of the rainbow and other things. So there's a lot of deep meaning beyond just wow. And yeah, wow. So, so there's a lot of different comments that I have from the class last year, and people were just over the moon with it and loved the space and loved the people. And one person told me the other day that they still hold one of the readings they got from another student really dear, really close. It was so powerful. So I want you to do something that's going to make you feel, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I did it, even if it's scary. Okay, enough of that. Let's move on. Now, so before I do the readings, I want you to tune into a particular energy, because this is going to bring this energy into your field. Then when I take a look at your energy field, it's going to reveal things. Everything in this space is going to reveal what is optimal for you at this time, aligned to your purpose, highest good, and blueprint. It is not ever going to be, oh, now you spoke up and you ruined the correct answer that could have come through. Everybody thinks they're not doing it right. Everybody gets nervous. Everybody has some doubt, self-doubt. All right. What happens when you come and do this is the power, because you go getting the feedback and you get support and you get encouragement and you get it goes on and on and on. And if you take that in and digest it, you could change very quickly. So this came through to me just before we started. Could you believe in a quick change? Now, if you want to close your eyes and be in this sacred space, to feel, to intuit, to sense, to block out trying to use your eyes or use your logical mind, good. That's fine. If you prefer, if the words coming through your eyes, coming through your skin is an energy that opens more of your senses, then do that. Listen to what is optimal for you at this time. So could you believe in a quick change, getting a fast answer, getting an accurate answer, trusting yourself? I'm being quiet so you can hear what's coming up within you. Maybe you're sensing, yes, I do, but I'm still holding tension. Look, I'm holding more tension in my back or my spine or my sacral or my heart. Maybe you're saying, no, I couldn't trust that. Just listen. Now I want you to ask yourself, do I trust myself? Do I trust myself? Woo. Why? Whatever answer you got, then just follow it with why. Drop that into your energy field and let whatever energy come up and receive it through whatever sense is open. So trust can happen in an instant. Do you really want to know right now the real answer to your question? Because part of you already knows it requires you giving something or someone up, or changing this, or spending money, or doing something outside your comfort zone. So do you carry frustration that you want to know? I want a clear answer from my higher self. I want the, fairies to talk to me. I want my guides to come. I want my body to tell me what is going on. But do you really want to know right now? And you might, or you might uncover some blocks. What's stopping you? Blocking you, keeping you stuck, enslaved, or uncertain? Show me now. Just receive these impressions, relax, and be receptive. I want you to ask yourself and listen to whatever answer boils up. Am I stuck in my comfort zone? Do I feel like I keep running into my fears and patterns that keep me in my comfort zone? So intuition is the ability to send and receive information on multiple frequencies from subtle realms and any time or space. So when you develop it, you can find the answer, the path, the quest, the talent, the answer, the truth, the idea, whatever is optimal for you. Because it's the ability to understand immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. Okay, it requires trust, and trust requires practice or feedback. After you do something once, you trust a little bit more. You go back, you're a little less nervous, less unfamiliar, less uncertain. All right, so say to yourself, I'm ready to break free and discover that I have a whole world beyond my eyes and my ears that is filled with ideas I've never perceived, yet I've dreamed of. I know that my intuition is rising to the surface. It's time to be on my journey, aware of all the guidance and meaning of what is unfolding in my life. I'm ready and willing for the key, because my intuition is the secret key to navigate the life my soul intended. I'm here on a fully funded mission. Whatever it is I need, money, job, support, energy, it's here. And I'm ready for my senses to awaken and allow me to hear that true message and understand it. So what you've just done is made a very powerful declaration, and I want you to sit with it for a moment and feel it. It's moving out through all the layers of your being. This is who I am. This is what I want. This is what I'm ready for. I am stepping back in the driver's seat. Open my channels. I'm ready to receive. All right, so just relax, come back a little bit. I'm going to start the readings in a second, but I'm going to put up the second picture of the double rainbow for you to just take a moment to feel this, to feel your declaration, to open your senses, to receive any messages, to take notes on them, okay? Okay, let's go ahead and start the readings. As you guys were enjoying the rainbow, hi Enza and Carmen and Deepshika, how lovely to see you. Hi Patricia, fantastic. Okay, good. So as you were enjoying that last rainbow, I was clearing and cleansing, and Deborah kept coming in. So Deborah, this is for you. Deborah is a client of mine, and she's we've known each other for many years. So sick, stuck, barely sleeping, depressed. I do know several people like that who are barely sleeping, sick. The biggest issue, that we've discussed before is that sense of being stuck, because when you feel stuck, then whether it's true or not, you become stuck. The energy doesn't flow. Let's see if he said anything else. Depressed. Okay, my love. Ooh, okay. So your energy field opened up to me. What I'm doing, you're seeing me doing, is the different practices I teach you in the intuition camp to cleanse and clear your field, to create a clear connection on multiple levels through source and golden triangles and a bunch of other stuff. So soon as Deborah's energy field began to open to me, it was like standing on a beach, darkness this way, just out over the ocean, from the waves out, just, but big, a huge vista, right? Like way up high, you can see some gray clouds, but this just looks black, ink black. There's a very dark feeling to it, not dark evil, but just, really dark. You can see the sand, and this side is, there's no details. It's not like it's houses, maybe it's trees. It's just there. And the beach is open in front of you. There's no one there. It's a white beach, but it's kind of like mine and has different random, natural things on it, shells and seaweed and stuff. And so you've inked out, this is your right side. Interesting. You've inked out a huge part of this side all the way down to the destination point, right? So if you looked at this as a painting, an artist, as the composition, the lines are meeting at the horizon, the beach and the wave line and the sky line and this line, right? So they're all pointing, and it's pointing, but that darkness that's over here, honey, is like somebody took it and took a marker and put it over, let's say it was a little town right there, whatever is there, that everything is pointing at. This is the direction you're standing, and you are alone. All right. So I began to ask, what does Deborah need to know this for? What does she do with it? And they showed me that you have an intermittent connection right here. So coming around here, around the heart, the throat, I don't see this. And it starts to appear just around the inner eye. And you're really brilliant with that, right? When you're in your flow and when you're channeling, when you're writing, when you're teaching, your voice, everything about you has that beauty to it. Right, so you can see that starts right here, but it fades out as it comes into the body. So there's still a lack of connection all the way to the body. But then it's almost like a pole that goes up from the crown to the higher self, soul star, and so on and so on. And it looks like if there was a barbell and a big muscly bodybuilder had huge hands, put his hands on that barbell at these two spots, and they're like this above you. So up comes out, and there's this hand, and it's squeezing it, it's blocking it, and then there's an opening in the other hand. And so this is definitely enhancing that sense of being stuck, of being, well, depressed, because it's inked out. You can't see where you're going, and you don't like where you are, and it looks like an expanse to get to where you're going, and you can't see clearly any light. There's no, in this energy, in this picture, energetic picture that's being painted for us by your highest good, is showing that, it's like it is a little bit of a hopeless feeling, because it's just standing there. Everything is dark. There's no ray of sunshine. There's no sense of the sun will dawn again. It's it does have a bit of war feeling to it, just like the aftermath of something like that, when something's been ripped or torn and devastated, and the aftermath is just standing in this bleakness. You're not moving forward either. I'm looking for different scenarios. I'm looking around the scene. I'm looking for things that might be shifting as we look at it, that are changing. Nothing is changing. It's a very static. So depression is that lethargy, right? It's like there's depressed energy. There's almost like something sitting on you, energy that it's too difficult. It takes too much effort, and you don't have the energy. So a lot of this is still about doing the things that we've done to get the energy moved, to have movement, to have more flow, to have more come into you. The scar is like ripped off. This looks like more of something like ripping a patch off of shirt, and there being this jagged opening down at your destination, just ripping it open, ripping it away. You don't have a destination at the moment. You don't like that yet. That only comes from this, there's like a touching a hot stove and pulling back and just feeling like, oh, I don't want, there's a part of you big that doesn't want to touch the work, right? That doesn't want to move forward. Every time I move forward, things stop, fall apart, pull me back. It's too hard, this pushing forward in that. When you touch it, you're pulling your hand away and not receiving from it. So when you get in the flow and you start to write and you start to do your wonderful things, and they're coming through, and you're starting to feel a little bit better in whichever ways, and you notice it, then you hit this pattern where somebody comes and says, oh no, and it's ripped away. And then it's like, what, where? Oh, I don't know where I'm going. I'm not sure I should move forward. And that familiarity of sinking back into this. So intuitively, it means that you're having intermittent flow. Again, I think we've seen this before in different ways, where you get the flow, you get the downloads, and then you get the block. So I know you've done this, but there's another whole layer of communication that all of these energies are speaking to you. So I'm seeing a book, doesn't have to become a book, but they're showing it to me as a book, that each chapter is one of these things that you talk to: depression, sick, lack of sleep, feeling stuck, whatever, these different energies. They are given a title, and instead of being the place you don't want to be, there's a magnetic charge against where you are. That lack of acceptance creates this, inky darkness, because, right, resisting. Get away from me. I don't want it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Why should I be here? Why am I here? this is a way. And then that energy is going through the parts of you that want the energy, that want the idea, that want the healing, that want the inspiration, that want the money, that want the flow, that want to move forward. This is a very common scenario, not this exact scene, never seen it before, but the scenario of feeling moments of moving forward and moments of being trapped in who you were, the past, and realizing it and being in that space where you're aware of it. There's something about this energy or being that's squeezing these two spots with these enormous strong hands that then at some point hands you some kind of sweet fruit, some kind of juicy, colorful thing, and the skies get kind of blue. And that's the only thing that's flashing to me is these, if this part changes from holding that and releasing that, then there's this ability to, the skies clearing and reaching down and giving you this nourishment. I mean, it almost looks like a pitaya, those pink things with yellow tips that look like a little alien. But the idea being juicy, colorful, nutritious. There's a dog energy here. So as I started to complete the connection and separate from it and see if there's any other information that is optimal for you to know right now. So I teach this to you in the camp, right? Where you have, if you're doing a reading, then I will come in and say, okay, ask this or try this to shift it, to complete the energy, to work with what has been shown to you. So there are many levels to a communication. Intuitive communication could just be a hit. It could be like this. And if we were doing a deeper session, we would go deeper into this. We'd probably go somewhere into a life or something, some deeper healing. But there's something about a dog. And the first thing that comes to my mind is the quality of the dog being loyal. So there's something about that energy that's here to support you. All right, I've given you an Akashic remedy sphere for about 5 days, Deborah. It's got some different energies in it, some harmony, some very royal purple, and something about stabilizing, bringing you into this space here. Now, if you're here when I do the reading, I would very appreciate if you could type anything, if you are able, just to give me some feedback, and lots of love and hugs, sweetie. So I'm seeing in my head the name Karin or something. I'm just going to scan through here, Karin or something. There's Christy, Kier, Carmen. Hi. Maybe it's very distinct. Christy. Okay, Christy, where are you? Hey, sweetie. Okay, hearts, I like that. Anything else? Let me see if there's anything else you said here. No. I'm here. Hi, Leslie. Can't wait to see you Saturday. All right, Christy. Wow. Mm. Ah. Well, Christy, you have some beautiful openings happening. You have it's an interesting scene that's unfolding. So the first thing I saw was a rainbow, but it was in the form of a pyramid. So it came to a point and down, but it was all over you. And then it was like it was in the sky and we were above and we're looking over a town, a suburb, more like, streets with houses and trees, not a lot of tall buildings or anything. Then a sphere of white light came out from the center, and it's just see several layers of it surrounding, like when you get the sun in a certain position and you can see the layers of light. There's a part of what you're going through right now is a childhood memory. Reset. Okay. The words, the descriptions, the qualities, the color, the shape, these are all very, very important when you're intuitively communicating. And I was waiting for the right word to come in. So it's like if you were flying over your childhood neighborhood, maybe, or something, but there's a sense of going over. You're in this incredible rainbow pyramid with this sphere of light around you. So you're operating at a very high frequency, a high part of your light body inside of a gateway. So the gateway looks similar to me to something we do in the intuition camp, where you create a gateway like that, a pyramid of your crown chakra with other parts of it. And so it's really showing a gateway, a lot of etheric colors, a lot of light, a lot of seeing light, like we're looking through a lens, like we're looking through a light lens from way above, very peaceful, floating forward. Now there's an eye, like you might see a third eye, like a full eye, but one at the top of that little rainbow pyramid. Wow, you're having a wonderfully interesting time in your light body. There's some little wings and a green jewel, a very tiny green jewel right on the top of that eye, and these little gold wings that come out. And I'm being shown very close up and then far away and close up and far away, and it's like looking at a physical gold statue with this green jewel, small, maybe an emerald type thing. It has that clarity to it, but it's cut with facets, like round, like a diamond. This is above this eye. Now this eye isn't your third eye. It seems to be much higher. This is your I am. So you whether you know it or not, you've been working with your I am presence. The layers of your light body, your intuitive network, we call it, is you have your body, which has an intelligence, an energy, an elemental to it. You have your higher self just above here, but it's a part of you that's more expanded. It's not physical. It sees and knows much more about who you are, what's optimal, and it can be a transformer for guidance to come through you directly into the crown and so on. Then you have your I am presence, and often it's shown as like a big light being or something, and it's even higher meaning energetically more expanded. This is a part of you that can reach into source, that connect to your direct soul, and this is a part of your intuitive network. We work here with this structure we're given, Akashic records in the soul star, the I am, and much higher, more expanded realms. Now they're showing a planet, some kind of a planet. Still, this is all very, we're just like floating over. There's something happening from childhood. I'm feeling it in the womb, the sacral area, up to the belly button. Some kind of angst. Now there's a childhood, child having child, being child. There's some danger, there's some fear, but it doesn't feel fearful from the perspective that you're processing this. But this is the kind of energies that are going down below, down in the physical realm, somewhere here, whether you know it or not, you're processing that. Now up over here to the left is a planet that's appearing kind of just white, just glowing white. I think it's Jupiter. Okay, yes. So Jupiter is the planet or the energy or the god of expansion, abundance, good fortune, optimism. And right now, going into retrograde, meaning coming to review things with you. So you have that going on with you as well. You have quite the process happening. I would sit with it. I would listen to this again, take some notes, and then sit and come into this space, because this isn't a one-time thing. What it actually feels like is a spaceship, for lack of a better word, that's just cruising very slowly at a high altitude, right, over your timeline. And it's a very interesting way of experiencing what a lot of people are, the shedding, the old, looking at the old, releasing the old pains, known and unknown. But coming from this space through this lens of light, this pyramid of rainbow, you've got this one eye with the emerald and the wings, the gold wings. Gold wings and an eye are commonly a depiction of the crown chakra. And that's your portal to these higher realms, especially to your I am presence. So that may have some of that there. And then Jupiter is here lending energy, coming close. Let's review what you have been afraid of expanding, where you've been afraid of abundance, and where you've, they're saying overexpanded. What does that mean? Blown up, like over amplified, blown up some things that happened, and some of these childhood things. And it's this life, it could be other lives too. They're usually all connected, not all of them, but certain ones are connected because they carry a similar pattern. And this life, we all came here to be the pinnacle of these patterns. It's why we've all had so much change. Okay, so keep floating at this level, tune into it. The more you do, the more that this will unfold. It is happening, but it'd be a very good idea to consciously develop your intuition so you can communicate, because this level of you working and showing us consciously that you can go up there and work at that level is a big deal. So you want to be able to do it in a safe way. You want to be able to do it in a way that you can repeat and trust. So at the very least, take this and re-listen to it, and then just practice it. Just go there. Maybe go there before you go to sleep. I understand. So I was told very clearly, Christy, that I wasn't to do anything else. Like, you usually surround you with certain energies that come in that want to support you, but you got it going on. That's all going on. So, okay, good. So if you want to let me know how that felt to you, it was gorgeous. It was truly gorgeous. Hi, Autumn. I would love to do something with you, especially if you can give me any insight about my relationship. All right, let's see, Autumn. There's a divide there, and you have it's like you are standing, and there's dark water between you. It's very still. There's some light reflecting on it, but it's dark, right? You don't see through it. It's not a lot of water, but this is something between you, something emotional, something deep, something dark, something in him, something in you. There's both of you have some issues, challenges, energies, whatever you want to call it. Sorry, I didn't mean issues, but like those energies are in this. However, they're also showing me there is a light, a line of light going around that person. And where it would cross on a figure eight or an infinity is right in the center between you, where you're standing. And then it comes around you, a big space around you. It's not like holding you, but there is a connection. But if you saw this infinity symbol, it would be like it starts to fade out as it gets to the center where the cross is, where the meeting is. So you haven't quite met, you haven't quite crossed your energies fully. There's been something holding back, something hidden, something dark, something emotional, something in the past, multiple things potentially. And it feels like if you want to move forward, you could start to wade into this. It doesn't feel like it's deep. However, there's a sense of being used to standing in these positions, being in this pattern or something. And whenever one or both of you sort of wanders into this connection space, maybe things don't go so well, or there's, a misunderstanding or something that creates frustration or disappointment or something that just goes, and then it's like you come back there. There's some energies underneath it. I ask this is what we get shown is what's optimal for you at this time. So this is the current state. But then I also begin to move the energies and ask if there's anything underneath it that you need to know in order to pursue your optimal path in whatever that is. So an optimal path might be walk away, might be walk closer, might be do your personal work, it might be go on a trip, might be, I don't know, right? So, and what I saw was the same energy coming like a rope or a line out and around, but it's going around a castle, and it's like a gold rope. And when it comes back, it stops before it gets to you. It stops right after that person. And that's a life. There's some life you had together where that person's status, family, duties, or position prevented you from being together. So this is part of the energy that is here in this life, in this particular thing. There's some choices to make because you felt a loss, he felt a loss, but it was because you didn't unite. If you had united, been together, you would have seen that the difference in your life and your purpose, what you wanted in that life, did not sync up. But you only got to the point of this intense kind of crush energy. And so that's frozen in limbo for both of you in a different way. Like, oh, I've held this for so long, this longing unfulfilled, or this, I can't get this person, I can't ever have them, or they're too good for me, or they're out of my reach, or there are powers keeping us separate, or if I only had this person, this would be the solution to everything. And so right now, one of the optimal things to do is in your own work would be, instead of trying to push forward or to attract that person right here and now, is to drop into the energies of you in that time and see if you can forward it in a different timeline where you did get together, albeit briefly, and see how that will release you from that particular magnetic thing, because it's creating an attraction, it's creating a magnetic attraction between you, but it's not from a place of freedom and love and happiness. It's from a place of lack and loss and powerlessness and energies like that. So if the relationship is meant to stay, it has to grow, it has to change, and this is one of the underlying energies that's right here for you right now. Okay, wonderful. Well, that was very interesting and some very specific energy for you to work with. Okay, Autumn. Ooh, I hope you come and join us on the Intuition to Summer Camp on Saturday. It would be way fun to see what else comes up around that. Hi, Sasha. I do love that name. It was my first cat I ever got on my own in college, and I got to name her and I got to pick her, and nobody got to tell me what to do. And she was with me for almost 20 years. Even got to meet my kids. All right, Sasha. First, I felt a lot of heaviness in the solar plexus, so I cleared it just to make sure that it's not mine or someone else's. And I still feel a little bit, not as much as I did. We'll see if that unfolds. But what I'm feeling now is this idea of jumping. I'm almost seeing like your hands like this and some little thing hopping, boink, over to this hand and boink, over to this hand and boink. But it's jumping like a reflex to avoid something. Some things a little bit out of fear. Just any form of jumping, like jumping into something too quickly, jumping out of something, trying to jump away from something. It's best for you to find some stillness and use that energy for taking action. So I was tuning into Cheetah, the animal, the spirit guide, the energies, the lesson, the message from Cheetah for one of the clients in the intuition camp. I had a really amazing, really vivid dream experience with Cheetah, and this is reminding me, because I tuned into her and was channeling some information about that. Cheetah is about fast action, reaction, taking off, being able to go super fast at barely a millisecond's notice. In fact, our intuition goes back in time. So it's almost instantaneous or just before the fact that the cheetah can take off when it receives the input that moment is ready. It also then sits, lays, rests, detached. Okay? There's a lot of strength and a lot of power there, but it's not used all the time. So this is for you to incorporate some rest, some balance, some being still. And this hopping between your two hands really is showing us like hopping between the worlds, to the feminine intuitive, to the masculine action oriented, the more physical, the more spiritual, so on and so forth, whatever. You can replace that with anything. Is there something that, what areas of your life are you hopping back and forth? You want a consistent flow of information to come to you from both sides. So if you're still over here, and then you jump over here, and you're still over here, and then you jump over there, you can start to blend them or weave them. So that's something that you're not doing at the highest that you could at this time, is bring two things together, bring two sides, find a harmony, find a way that things blend, that they merge, that they flow, find where something is preventing, something is inviting. Use them both to support each other, and don't move so quickly out of something or into something. Be in an acceptance space. I'm seeing a monkey meditating. It's almost like this, like sitting like a little thing. So if monkey has any particular meaning to you, you might look up some of the spiritual meaning of monkey. Maybe it's representing this monkey jumping, right? Monkey chatter mind that we sometimes call it. But that's the pattern. Now look at it, step back from it. If you feel resistance, like, oh, I don't do that, or I used to do that, but I can't do that anymore. Be willing to just step back and say, well, show me where this pattern is. Because what we want to know is this pattern still there? And what is it doing? And how is it preventing me from seeing or perceiving or acting or moving forward? All right. Thank you. So we're just bringing in some gold light. It's coming up like almost like a little serpent going back and forth. This beautiful energy knitting, bringing balance back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then up, up, up. So take some time in this new moon. We forgot to say, hello, it's the new moon. And it's a really powerful new moon. The new moon means darkness, but this is a sweet and abundant one because of Jupiter. And yet we have this energy coming around us of all these other planets that are about taking our collective and our personal, conscious, purposeful journey in a new direction. And so there's going to be some uncertainty, some unsettling, some maybe desire to take action before you should. And that is going to exacerbate this energy that you have. So watch for that in the next week or so, okay? That you don't react too quickly. That's true for all of us. We want to sit and be still with it, be with the abundance of it. Momento. Okay. So, Sasha, thank you, honey. So remember, you guys, that you can join the Intuition Awakening camp. Even if you can't come to all of them live or part of them live, I highly, highly recommend it. And when you get the course, you're going to get the Awaken the 360 Senses. Do that. Do the Intuition Awakening Challenge. Those were important activations. And the first bonus call we did that is available right now that you can do is cleansing and clearing and entering the Intuition Temple of 2022, the Unity Temple, how to reunite with yourself. That's what the energies this year are about. All right. Thank you, Sasha. Namaste. Jennifer, leader. Good afternoon. My day is very happy so far. I'm still feeling baby turtles, a mama turtle laying her eggs here, which I was being super pouty about. I haven't actually said that yet in a newsletter. Maybe if you're on my list, you know that baby turtles were born, well, a year ago right here on my land, and then just 2 nights ago right here, right in front of us on the beach, just a couple feet to the left. I didn't see it, but my neighbor sent me pictures. So I got a little pouty that I missed it, but I also got a little pouty that no mama has come and laid her eggs on my land yet. And my neighbor sent me a video of a mama laying eggs on their land. So the very next morning, I came down and I walked down to the beach, and I have this turquoise gate, and I immediately noticed that there's sand all over the place, that it's been pushed through the gate from the other side, and that side is what we call the turtle yard. And sure enough, a mama turtle came, and you can see her imprint of her body, and she dug and laid her things. And then the amazing thing is the turtle protection group that works here saw it, and after she left, they moved her eggs to the side, so because that was right where we walk out of the gate, so, and marked it. So we have nest number 372, if you would like to send love to my baby turtles. And then we had this amazing epic rainbow last night, so oh my goodness. All right. What is something the universe wants me to know? Excelente. Okay, Jennifer. The universe wants you to know it's waiting. Is ready and waiting. Thank you. So they're done. That's it. So what I saw was this opening, and the first trigger I felt was this thing going up through the mind, like the universe isn't the one that wants to tell you anything. What you want to do is look for what is my highest good right now, what is optimal for me, what is my inner voice, what is my soul blueprint, what is my truth, what is that part of me want me to know. So they took you very literal. I don't know if you're a very literal person, but that was very interesting. And here's the longer version. The universe is standing there. We're ready. We're waiting. What do you need? What do you want? You're on the other side of this little tiny fence, and you're saying, what do you want to tell me? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to be? You need to look down within, sit in yourself, come present, and ask that of you. Sit where you can receive it, where you can hear it. Immediately when you start to make that connection, everything needs to come through your heart. So what we do is the same thing that we've been taught. What does the teacher want? What does the father want? What does the mother want from me? What does the church want from me? What does this culture I live in want from me? Okay. And that's ingrained, and it's part of what we're doing. So this was really beautiful because it's there. It's like this huge vista again. And down to this little thing, like, we're waiting. We're ready. When you access us from your heart consciously, we rush in to fill. We don't tell you. So if we are going to tell you anything, we're waiting and we're ready. And you need to go into a space where we can fill it. Well, that was a very short and interesting answer. There you go, Jennifer. Actually, it was very wonderful. It was very profound. And I could feel a little bit of argument in your mental body. And so I would recommend that you sit with that idea of you're here and there's the universe, and it's not holding a message for you. It's holding readiness for you. It's like, what do you need? What do you need? Which is pretty cool. Okay. Ooh, that would be fun. Come join us on Saturday. We'll just open that up. Yvette. Hello, Yvette. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you. So many people wishing me a wonderful day. I love that. I'm just going to accept that. Yes, I will. Okay, I'm being asked to cleanse us all with the little copal. There's a lot of energies up right now. So we're going to do a few more of these. I hope you're having fun. You know, when you come and you listen, even if I don't do a reading for you specifically, there's always something that you get, which is part of the fun in the class too. You know, when you're listening to somebody else's reading, you get your own, or you practice seeing what you get from that person. And there's a lot. There we go. This is homemade stuff, so it takes a little while to really get going. All right, Yvette. Are you seeing me fully on board with my talents and aligned? And when and how will I start being remunerated and valued? Ah, voila. The when. The big when. And the when and the how. That's why we had to get this out. So we're going to ask for these energies, the sacred copal, our ancestors and the Mayans, and this beautiful smoke, the jaguar, all the crystal kingdom, all of these beautiful energies that are here for our awakening, our opening, and our healing. We ask that you bring forward a release of the why, when, how. So just breathe, feel that being lifted off of you. It's very difficult for us to imagine not wanting to know how and when and what do I do and what's the practical step. And yet intuitive guidance can be very direct and it can be very abstract, and it can be a bigger picture, or it could be showing you a little crack, or it could be bringing something in that helps ease your pain, that then allows you to see something. So the when is usually not a very powerful, not a very optimal way to perceive something, because the energies are shifting around us and you're moving through it. When you decide to step up and step out of that, whatever is the final trigger, or that one thing that shifts you, that's the when time. So how will I be seen? So what you're asking is, you're ready to be seen, you're ready to be respected, you're ready to be valued, you're ready to be appreciated. You're saying that you're ready to be fully on board with your talents and align with them. I want you to feel this. Close your eyes. Okay. Oh, I was bringing a lot of stuff up in the throat. So there's some energy around your throat center. This can be with speaking up, but it can also be about receiving. It's a communication center that goes both ways, that we clear in the intuition class a lot. Oh, wow. There's a lump in my throat now. So what I'm being shown is like a rock or a boulder or something. It's sitting here about kind of on the left side of your throat center. And on the other side, I heard you say, fully on board. And the scene opened like a train platform, small one, old-fashioned. You're standing in a big fur coat. It's completely wrapping you. You have this fancy hat, a lot of makeup. You're an older woman. You're looking down the platform as the train employee is reaching down for your hand to help you get on board. But you're looking like you're waiting for something. So there's something that you're afraid of leaving behind, afraid of moving forward. Their help is there. And then there's this block right here. And that's making you want to know things, making you want to know how and when, because the answers are already within you. How? Value yourself. Enjoy what you do. Practice it. Play with it. Develop your intuition so you can get guidance on how to use your talents, where to go, where you might meet people. This is all available, but there is something energetically, could be another life, but either way it is embedded in the center. So it's keeping you from a full receiving and sending clarity. And the left side of receiving and everything is a boulder, is a big, hard block that you're holding on to. It feels like a block of a shield, some kind of a shield, like hiding behind it because speaking your truth. There's still part of you that is not feeling safe to completely express your talents. You are ready in the sense that you can move forward. But this is an opening to that. Let go of receiving appreciation, receiving money, receiving stuff from outside of you. That is part of this block. You have to respect your own gift, your talent, enjoy it, have it, value it, respect it. That's going to start separating you from this shield and free you to get fully on board and take off. But it's going off, and there's no one else standing by this train. It's almost like you're looking for someone, hoping that they show up. Some part of you is going to show up and rescue you or tell you what to do or take you back. Is it really time to go forward? There's a lot of energy and emotion in that. So sit with that and see what comes up. Play with it, because that center is interesting, right? Your throat center is where you ask. So you ask for someone to do a session with you, or to hire you for your talent. So you ask to be paid, or you ask your talents, what's the optimal connection. You clear them and cleanse them and connect to them every day. You develop your talents every day. You enjoy them yourself. You use them and get into that. That's going to move all of this stuff forward. That will take you. You don't need to say when and how and this and that. Do this, and then you will get on board and something will begin to move. Beautiful. Clarity. All right. So we activate a clarity power program. Calling on Citrine, the great central sun, and Ra to surround and help integrate, or Yvette, for 5 days. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that will stay with you, that will stay around you, Yvette. You don't have to do anything, but you can acknowledge it, thank it, tune into it, see if you can perceive it, thank it, take the energies in even more, whatever you want to do with it, okay? And I really do think you would be excellent in the intuition class. Several of you are just popping, right? You're ready, you're popping, you're just hitting that block, you're ready to get on that train. This is a very important moment, right? We're moving into 8-8, which is the Lion's Gate. So during the class, we're going to be doing some of these really cool energies, right? Okay, let's see. We've got, yes, okay, who's next? Brittany, don't respond to that. Sit with it and bring it Saturday. I don't like the feeling around it. There's something funny, but I have to go deeper. Okay. But since you're coming to the class, you can sit with it, do some of the activations that you already have, and go deeper into your inner voice. I'm very careful right now. I don't want to go into fear or blame, but I'm very careful right now about there's more spam, there's more hacking, there's more desperation, there's more people selling products and courses and of how to do something and how to fix everything and how to make money and whatever, every version of that right now than ever before. We're unleashing the desperation and greed energy on the planet. And when you open to your senses and your spiritual nature, you've got to be very careful that you don't get swept into one of these things, because they hook into your fears. They hook into your lack. Not that they aren't optimal. I did buy a real estate investing course many years ago from a commercial, going through 7 nights of thinking, this is stupid. I don't buy things from commercials. And it was one of the best things I ever did. It was very challenging. It pushed me spiritually, pushed me in understanding money energies. It was an extraordinary path. But right now it's very difficult to discern. So I want you to take a little time. Okay, sweetie? So hi, Michelle. So Michelle Shones, I think, is how you say it, just so that if we have another Michelle here. Hi, sweetie. All right. Intuitive reading on money and where it is, and if I need to be patient to continue exploring my nature preschool ideas. Nature preschool, patience, money. Got it. Transform patience into something else. Pick a different energy and put that on, and it's going to reveal. It's going to be like taking off glasses and putting on a different color glasses, and everything's going to look very different. Patience is waiting for the right moment when you feel aligned. Where you are is wanting a result. There's a strong, like this, like a grip, like a in the belly. You're trying to pull this to you. You're trying to manifest something. The energy, the money isn't, it's not showing, and it's not because it's not there, but it's because it's got there's something, this you want it too much, you're too attached to it emotionally, you've tied too many things to it. It means this, it means that. If you pause and or perceive another track or direction, you're holding energies that would repel it, because I don't know, there's some duty. Maybe it's someone else in your life telling you you should be making money, or it should have been working by now, or why can't you do it? Or maybe that's part of you, or both. Um, but the collapsed energy, the tight energy, and I've been there a lot. I want this, I'm going to make it happen, I'm going to force it to happen. And I've done that many times with many businesses. The repercussions and the energy aren't great. There's no clarity really about a nature preschool, but this is a step, and you're not seeing it as a step. Now, don't get upset when I say it's a step on a path, meaning it's just a step, you're never going to do it. I don't know. But there's all kinds of ways these things can manifest. There's all kinds of ways that these things can come through. And the most powerful ones are never what we think. If we're staring over here, waiting for it to come through the front door, and it's marching past the back door, hey, guess what? We're over here, okay? So very important that you've got a lot of pressure energy around it, and attracting money, attracting people, attracting flow, attracting joy, attracting the energy you want this idea to hold. What you want it to gift people with is what you are holding. Let go of the structure right now and hold that energy. Nature spirit energy, healing energy. How do you embody it? How do you spread it? How could you bring it to people? Where is the meeting point of that energy? Is it expanding you to think of something new, to find something new? Is there something trying to talk to you? Yes, there is. There's something over here trying to talk to you through your left side, your ear. There's something you're not hearing. And there's also something almost like you're dunking it, you keep dunking it underwater. No, I don't want to listen. So there's some parts of you that aren't listening, some parts that are holding on too strong and trying to force and push it. You want to relax out, get into flow, and you want to allow this to come in. Be in that energy, because being the nature goddess, spirit woman of fabulousness has a lot of other benefits and a lot of other ways that it can unfold. And this is a step on a path. You need to go down this path for that or anything else to manifest. So we draw on the harmony of the full color spectrum and ask a ribbon of rainbow light to come with exactly the energies down to and through all of the energies that are needed, gently harmonizing, cleansing and clearing all the energies that aren't needed, allowing Michelle to come fully present, receive, and then let it grow from her. Okay, good. Who is that? So, Dana, there's some information coming, and I think you're in the intuition class, so this is going to come much clearer to you as we go through. But your question is continuing your organization, support and resources are depleting. You want to step back, and again, similar to something else that came through earlier, is give a pause to that part of you that's pushing forward and be in the energy of, okay, this is not the way to do something. Depleted, with things draining. That's the energy. Just look at depletion and draining. Resources are depleting. There's a reason energetically. Be inside of that, because pushing forward on anything when you're just keep coming, it's like coming from your own heart to help someone else's heart keep beating. You need to be standing strong, getting more clarity on the direction. Okay, so Gina Piron. Ah, asking my higher self about my clairvoyance. Thank you and have a blessed day. You are so welcome. Well, this came up when you were coming into my view. This is a star tetrahedron. If you're not familiar with this sacred geometrical shape, this happens to be out of obsidian, but it's two pyramids above and below, perfectly merged, forming a Merkaba, or your light body vehicle of balance. So this may be a very good way. We do work with this in the intuition camp as one way of seeing into things, seeing facets, seeing the above, below, the feminine, the masculine, and different things. So you have an affinity to this particular one shape. And so that's the clair. What are you asking about? Your higher self, about your clairvoyance. Okay, that's going to help you with that. It's a step into empowerment. So your ability to see, perceive through your inner eye and these other senses is bigger than you imagine. So it seems almost that you're keeping yourself small in this area, and there's this huge divide that you perceive, but if you jumped up into it, because that expanded perspective is much more powerful than the details can fill in. So there's a vaster view, and perceptions, perceiving, that's the right word for you. What are you perceiving? What filters are you putting the messages that are coming in through? Which are the messages that are important, and which are the ones that are just passing by, or a feedback to give you, oh, I got that right. I thought it was green and it was green. Oh, that's really nice feedback. That gives me a little bit more trust in myself. There's also, they're showing like this big opening, above, out of your third eye and your crown into your soul star, this like viewing, like opening a curtain and seeing, yet there's something underneath that needs to happen. So your clairvoyance is very, it is a talent that you have. Everybody has these, okay? But this is one that you have experience with in other realms. And it is something that will be a major thing for you. But right now you're perceiving through a lot of the other things, and you need to activate some of the underneath structure, the throat, the third eye, the command center. When you get these together, they make a big difference. And those are going to give you more of a platform for this to unfold on. And I don't know if I'm going to say that. Okay. So you can get something like this shape that you can hold, but you can look at images. You can Google and find images that show this in 3D, show the two different ones, things like that. Bringing this around you, bringing this within you, bringing this into your third eye. But you definitely need to develop some of these structures here, from the heart, higher heart, throat, into this. And then in the intuition camp, we blend these into one command center. And this is going to be a platform for that. So you have a lot of interesting things opening. Also look at things from a bigger perspective. It's almost like you're trying to use or develop or have an opening to your clairvoyance, and other senses are coming into. They fill in the picture and they help color the picture. So a lot of what we see, perceive, so your perceptions are expanding, and you want to give it some structure and foundation, and because it's going to expand big time. So yes, I did hear that the intuition camp would be good for you, but I don't like saying that because it sounds manipulative in a sales sense. So if it calls to you, resonates with you, ask me about it. Most everybody I've seen today seems to resonate being at that moment. So if you do want to, we won't be doing it again until next year. Maybe next year, who knows where we'll be next year. So that's it for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's all just take a deep breath in. Clear and cleanse your energy field. We give great thanks for this beautiful gathering, this sacred chamber, and to all these beautiful guidance, healing, and revelations that have been offered to us with grace, love, harmony, and clarity. We ask for the circle to be open yet unbroken, and each of us go clearly connected to what was optimal for each of us to receive today. Going with us, lighting our hearts, warming our minds, opening the path. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am that I am, EA Escher EA. Namaste, my beautifuls. I do have to check and see if anybody gave me feedback. I really want to know. I did do all of those things, right? Let's see. Okay, good. So Deborah said, thank you. Yes, I am here, very grateful. I do feel it is time for me to listen to all these familiar places. Yeah. Christy said, thank you, Goddess. That was very soothing to hear. Oh, good. I'm glad. Let me know more. You guys can always send me an email. Things have felt more crunchy than this in the 3D. More crunchy. I will work with these energies you shared. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. Look at all those hearts and stars. I love being bathed in those. Thank you. Autumn said, thank you. That was interesting. It was. I don't know who had the amazing flying over childhood with this. I still feel that. That was an incredible sensation, vision, place. It was amazing. Just joined. Yay! Oh, I'm so glad. Welcome, welcome, Christy. Ashley, I can't get to you today, sweetie, but please come to the intuition camp or let me know and I can answer it in a video. Okay? You're so welcome, Michelle. Dana, let's see, where'd you go? Thank you. Your words validated what you had shared with another today. Felt the same energy. See you Saturday. Thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you, Gina. Namaste. Many blessings, everybody. Take care. Please listen to your inner voice. It's always the one, if you go through your heart, that has your truth. Namaste.